He preached forgiveness. He comforted the broken. And every Sunday, he told his congregation that no sin was too great for God to forgive. But when construction workers uncovered a shallow grave behind a small church in Savannah, Georgia, the truth about their beloved pastor rose from the dirt. This is the story of the pastor's secret that shocked everyone. In the heart of Savannah, Georgia, where moss hangs heavy from the oaks and church bells echo through quiet streets, stood Grace Fellowship Church, a pillar of faith in the community. Its leader, Pastor Michael Dorsey, was everything a small town admired. A devoted husband, respected counselor, and powerful preacher. He led charity drives, comforted the grieving, and preached with a voice that could move a room to tears. People called him the Shepherd of Savannah, but the man behind the pulpit was living a double life. Her name was Angela Boyd, 25 years old, a nurse and a longtime member of Grace Fellowship's choir. Angela was known for her radiant smile and her angelic singing voice. She'd lost both her parents as a teenager, and the church became her family. Pastor Dorsey had been her mentor, guiding her through college, heartbreak, and faith. But that mentorship soon crossed a line neither of them could undo. By 2008, their relationship had turned secret, emotional, and dangerous. Friends noticed Angela's anxiety. She'd stopped singing at services, and one night after choir practice, she told a friend she needed to talk privately with the pastor. That was the last time anyone saw her alive. When Angela didn't show up for work the next morning, co-workers grew worried. Her car was still parked near the church. Her phone went straight to voicemail. Police questioned Pastor Dorsey, the last known person to see her. He said she left in good spirits after their conversation. No witnesses, no surveillance footage, no sign of struggle, just silence. As days turned into weeks, the case went cold. Angela's disappearance became another unsolved mystery, whispered through Sunday prayers. And Pastor Dorsey? He kept preaching about faith, forgiveness, and moving on. 13 years later, in the summer of 2021, Grace Fellowship began expanding its church hall. Construction crews broke ground behind the sanctuary, the same place Angela used to plant roses every spring. At 10:47 a.m., a worker's shovel struck something solid, a skull. Police arrived within minutes. The site was sealed off. Parishioners stood behind yellow tape, clutching Bibles, whispering prayers. Days later, dental records confirmed what no one wanted to believe. The remains belonged to Angela Boyd. She had been buried less than 20 feet from the pastor's office, the very place she'd gone to seek the truth. Investigators searched the church and Dorsey's home. Hidden behind his bookshelf, they found a small wooden box. Inside were 3 items: a silver locket engraved, a positive pregnancy test, and a torn letter that read, "Michael, please talk to me. We can't keep this secret forever." When questioned again, Dorsey denied everything. He said the items were from a troubled parishioner, nothing more. But when forensic teams revealed Angela had been 6 weeks pregnant, the mask began to crack. Narrator. During a second interview, Pastor Dorsey broke down. He told detectives Angela had confronted him that night about the pregnancy. He begged her to stay quiet, said it would destroy his ministry, his family, everything. She refused. According to him, the argument turned physical. He claimed he pushed her away, and she fell, hitting her head on the corner of his desk. When she didn't move, he panicked. Hours passed before he made a choice that would define the rest of his life. He dug a grave behind the church and buried her beneath the flower bed she tended for years. And then, on Sunday morning, he stood at that same pulpit and preached forgiveness. In court, when asked why he buried her there, Dorsey said quietly, "I buried her where I prayed most, hoping God wouldn't look there." The trial drew national attention. In the courtroom, Dorsey appeared calm, Bible in hand, eyes downcast. Prosecutors called him a manipulative hypocrite who used religion to control and conceal. The defense argued it was a tragic accident, not premeditated murder, but the evidence in his own confession told a darker truth. After 4 hours of deliberation, the jury found him guilty of second-degree murder. He was sentenced to 40 years in prison. Before being led away, he said one final sentence: "I preached forgiveness to others because I couldn't find it for myself." Grace Fellowship Church was permanently closed. The land was cleared, and in its place now stands a small memorial garden. A single stone reads, "Angela Boyd 1980, 2008. She sang for heaven before she reached it." Her best friend, Denise, still visits the site every October. She says she doesn't hate the pastor, but she'll never forgive him. "You can preach about heaven," she said, "but burying someone in God's house, that's hell." They say confession cleanses the soul. But for Pastor Michael Dorsey, his came far too late. For 13 years, he prayed over the ground where his sin lay buried. He thought no one would find it. But in the end, the truth, like the light through a stained glass window, always finds a way through the darkness. In memory of Angela Boyd, gone but never forgotten.